Welcome everybody back to LJ's Comic Bro. My name is Jay, and happy, very, very late New Comic Book Day. This week I'm not going to have a co-host. Pretty much I'm going to just go over all the really cool, crazy things that happened down there at Comic-Con, Baltimore in 2023. I had a lot of fun. My wife had a lot of fun. We spent way too much money, and that's how it usually goes when you go to Comic-Con. This is my first Comic-Con in probably 4 to 5 years since we started doing a lot of rescuing and stuff like that. So this was pretty much a vacation. I haven't been on an actual vacation in quite some time, so we took advantage of this. Now, the first thing that happens when you arrive at Baltimore Comic Con and you are a VIP member, you're given this little cool yearbook, really nicely done. Each year has a theme. I have the last couple years there, but each one has a theme. And this theme was Crossroads, which I really don't know who they are or whatever. But either way, lots of really cool, amazing drawings, a lot of cool artwork. I'd show you one up real quick, but you know something, I am. Look. Really cool, amazing stuff inside. Completely worth the money if you actually purchase it. Especially if you just want a book that you don't want to mess up your own comic books. You're not into the signing of the comic books or messing up the artwork. They give you, you purchase a book like this for a whole $34.99. And you can get each page signed by all the artists that there at the Comic Con. Yeah. So that's the first thing, and the second thing is they give you a T-shirt. But I'd show you that off. So the dirty laundry. I wore it on Saturday. It was awesome. I'm so excited. And give you a little lantern. It says you are VIP for this weekend. You're allowed to go all 3 days. I could not handle 3 days. I didn't have the money for 3 days. I barely had the money for 2 days. So I did go Friday and Saturday. Friday I went without the wifey, and then showed up on Saturday. We had a great time. Now the third thing that you should do once you get to Comic-Con, and you're the VIP, which means you go in a half hour earlier than everybody else, is find the motherfucker that you want to sit there and get some books signed from. That was the first thing I did. Alright? Because those lines fill up pretty fucking quick. I went to Chris Claremont right away. I was 10th in line. 10 people after me finally showed up when they opened up the doors. One guy had a tote bag filled with 100 comic books. He was spending well over $2,000 to get comic books signed. I am not kidding. I am not joking. He started pulling them out, picking out which ones he was getting done, and then he said, fuck it, I'm getting them all signed. I felt so sorry for Chris. I really did. Because he wasn't the only person to do that. Several people after him had the same tote bag and was pulling out about the same amount of books. I couldn't imagine spending that much on one signature to get done over and over and over again. I couldn't even tell you if they were getting any CGC. It's like $15 just for the signature, $30 for the CGC signing for Chris Claremont. If you got the money, fuck it, I guess go ahead and get it done. But bullshit, I don't have that kind of money. But the first thing I did was stand in Chris's line. Then I had a little book that I wanted signed 5 times. So I went around and found my little CGC person. He was in the middle of the whole area. And you had to wait to basically get a group. Because that was probably the best thing, is to go in a group. And if you're all going right around the same people, and you're doing all the same thing, and you can get that one guy to witness all those signatures, that's a great thing. But if you end up getting stuck with just one person and you're all by yourself, you're going to lose that CGC person pretty much very quickly. So that's what I did. I got a group. We were all getting the same signatures done, which was nice. I got Bob McLeod. I got Al Mingram. I've got Alex Suviak. I got Chris Claremont, who had a guy there all day. I ended up picking up. I'm trying to think of some of the other people that I had signed. Some of Arthur Adams. Then I ended up going and getting Howard Mackey, because I mean you can't go have Howard Mackey there and not get a Ghost Rider book signed and CGC witness. So that's exactly what I did. Then my last but not least, and I say this so proud. I am so glad that I finally got to meet one of the legends out there in Marvel comic book world, or I should say comic book world in general. Jim motherfucking Starlin. All right, this was the man that got me back into reading comics. Yeah, I was watching the MCU and stuff like that. And you know how that goes. You sit there and get nostalgia about the comic books you read when you were a kid. So, I started picking up newer volumes. You know, the collected editions of different books and stuff. And realized I was following along almost all of Jim's work. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, this guy is amazing. Not just his artwork, but his writings and everything. He was keeping me captivated the whole fucking time. So, my last stop, I made sure I went and found Jim Starlin. Now this, I don't understand. Okay? The man's a motherfucking legend. If you're watching the MCU movies, guess what? You're watching his creative work. Is it told specifically exactly the way that he wrote it? No. But it's his characters. I mean, you gotta think about it. Gamora, his. Thanos, his. The Gauntlet, his. You're not going to see Pip the Troll until this time, but goddamn Pip the Troll. I mean, Adam Warlock is not his. Captain Marvel is not his. But he's the one that sat there and revolutionized them and brought them into and made them more interesting and a lot better than what they once were created. Hell, Adam Warlock was floating around like a fucking dream. Nobody knew what the fuck to do with the guy until Jim Starlin came up and said, let's start doing a little bit with this Infinity Gauntlet, storyline with him. Put a little gemstone, and all of a sudden, you got Adam Warlock beating everybody's ass. Next thing, he took Captain Marvel. Marvel was wearing that goofy-looking suit. Changed up his suit, gave him a whole new look, made him look all nice and spiffy, gave him a different attitude, and now that motherfucker, people was reading his books left and right. You couldn't keep him up there and supplied. So this is the man that everyone was reading about, except I went to his line. 3 people were there. I'm looking around. I'm like, this can't be it. This is Jim motherfucking Starlin. And that's how it was. I don't think anybody really realizes and recognizes the work that you guys sat there and were watching was his. No one was getting it. That pissed me the fuck off. I was like, holy fucking shit. Mr. Jim Starlin, what the fuck is going on here? It wasn't even just that. They had him in the back in the fucking corner. The guy's a legend. Couldn't even put him with the big wigs. Put him back in the fucking corner where I was like, you couldn't I mean, honestly, you would get lost even looking for him. Most of the time, probably people were just giving up and said, fuck this bullshit. I'll find Jim next year. So I made sure I got my first Pip Troll. The next day, I made sure I got my first appearance of the Infinity Gauntlet. And dear God, I fucking bought a shitload of books that he wrote. Did I get them all signed? No. But I mean, the man is the man is amazing, creative genius on every level. He was sitting there telling me stories of how he came up with this Thanos character and the psych classes he was taking at the time. I was just blown away. But whatever. I guess I digress on this for a little bit, but it's fucking Jim Starlin. What the fuck are you doing shoving him in a corner like that? Okay. Hopefully next year with that little bitch fest, he gets a better seat. I highly doubt it. I'm not moving needles myself. I actually had him on. He asked to do a little infomercial kind of thing for my show. I had 6 people watch it. I was like, what the fuck is this? The most I've ever had was well over 100 per show. The lowest I've had was about 6 or 7. But right now he's running the lowest that I had, 6. It's Jim fucking Starlin. Put some respect in the motherfucking name. What the hell? All right. For those that, just to let you know, he is on the last show. The man, the myth, the legend, Jim Starlin. But before I go any further, and before I get more upset or excited about stuff, if you like what you're watching, you like what you see, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you leave a comment, because the best thing about doing this show is actually interacting with other people that love comic books as just as much as I do. And it's exactly what I was going through at Comic-Con. I was talking to God knows what and God knows who about the littlest things of what's going on in today's comics, past comics, and comics hopefully that you get to see in the fucking future, which was amazing. Because I don't even get to do that at work. Not where I work. I mean, there's a couple people that I sit around my chit chat with, but most of the people that I work with, that ain't happening. Okay. So it was really, really fucking cool. It's probably one of the best experiences to ever have, is to actually be able to go out there and say, so what do you guys think about this bullshit? And you get interaction. I mean, you kind of get the reaction that you're expecting, but it was pretty fucking cool. I loved every bit of it. Like I said, my wife and I, we spent shitloads of money, probably money we didn't have, but the last time we actually went out and got to do something together, it's been a pretty long time. So on that note, let's show off some books here. Now, I said I'm a Jim fucking Starlin fan. So what did I do? I made sure I picked up some Jim Starlin books. I went to Volume 3. Volume 3 of Silver Surfer. And I picked up some books. Alright? Jim Starlin and Ron Lim, baby. Right there. Show this off. Make this like one of the... Oh, wow. Look at that. Amazing. Drax the Destroyer. Another Jim Starlin creation. And nobody stands in his line. Just fuck. Look at that. Bam. Ron Lim. I wish Ron Lim was there, because I would have got a couple things double signed with Ron Lim. Unfortunately, I think Ron Martz was there, but the artwork, I mean, he really did put up a hell of a job with Jim Starlin's artwork. Look at that. And all these, like, I'm not going to say that little price tag is not what I paid. By Saturday, they were already looking to drop books like crazy. Look at this. Adam Warlock, Silver Surfer, Gamora, and motherfucking Pip the Troll. That's right. Another Silver Surfer. Look at that. Galactus. Look at this shit. You got Silver Surfer and fucking Thanos fighting out there. Look at that shit. Hell yeah. Got Mr. Silver Surfer. I mean, if you actually read before Jim got onto this, which was issue 34, he took over from volume 3, this was a flailing fucking volume. This really was. Nobody was fucking reading this shit. Damn. Like I said, I ended up getting a couple books him signed and graded. Hopefully they come out amazing. One, I bought the first appearance of the Gauntlet. And I made sure I got that baby signed right away. Look at this. So awesome. Now, Starlin does all the way up until issue 50. And then after issue 50, it's Martz and Lim. Look at this. Okay. Like, I mean, I got a lot. I got a lot of Jim Starlin goodness, and that's exactly what this was about. Now, I did pick up some other stuff. Oh. Can't forget issue 10 of Warlock. Again, fucking Jim Starlin. Look at that. Now, I did pick up some other issues. So, I couldn't believe it took me forever to be able to get this into my collection. But my wife ended up picking this up for me. The most amazing woman in the whole wide world. I was super excited to pick this up. Now, I do love those 25th, I think the 25th anniversary of the embroidered comics. I absolutely love them. I do collect those. So, I had a chance to get one pretty much $5 a piece. Pretty much, I'm pretty much closing to the end of the end. I think I had the Fantastic Four, which this was about. I couldn't believe I still don't have that one. I need Alf, and I think I need the Ewoks. And Peter Porker. Yeah, those. That Peter Porker's like a $50 book though. That one I'm still looking for in the wild before I eBay that shit. But look at that. Now, put this in order. Make me look civilized, you know. And I got the Death of the Family storyline. Look at that badass cover. This is early Greg Capullo work. Look at that shit. Greg Capullo could always do some fucking awesome work. That's pretty much why I think Todd usually gets him to do some covers for him. Look at that shit. Like I said, I got the whole storyline for that Death of the Family. Little minor key in this one. They brought Joker back to life. Now, I do love myself some Moon Knight, and I have like the first, pretty much like the first issue and last issue thing going on in my head. So these are, and then I've had this looking for. These are the final issues of the different series. Mark Spector Moon Knight. Pretty fucking cool. And just Moon Knight. Last issue of that one. fucking awesome, awesome work. I should have put this in with my Jim Starlin, but look, Jim motherfucking Starlin! Issue 50, Silver Surfer, Volume 3. The very first metal embroidered cover. Yeah, that's it. Number 50. New standard. Alright. Now, I'm not showing you my wife's books. This show would end up being double the time, and dear God, nobody needs to watch that many minutes of me. So, my last book that I did pick up, it's a What If. Absolutely love What Ifs. What if Kraven the Hunter had killed Spider-Man? Like I said, I love me some What Ifs, especially since I got that one book. I had to do my What If book for that. And that, my friends, is the God knows how many books that I ended up picking up for Comic-Con this past week. My wife's stack is just as big, so we did pick up some artwork, and I will be showing that off at another time. My wife is a huge fan of David Mack, so she made sure she ended up picking up a few of his. And if anybody knows who David Mack is, he's the artist for one of the volumes of Daredevil. He does a lot of the Echo covers, beautiful artwork. He also does a lot of indigenous artwork for other writers. So I will show those off. And if you're having fun watching this show, and dear God, love what I'm showing and love what the fuck I'm talking about, and love the shit coming right out of my mouth, please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. I love interacting with everybody out there. So from my family to your family, and remember, if you're going to rescue, make sure you do all your homework. Make sure you learn everything you possibly can before you bring that animal into your family. It's only fair it's not fair if you don't, not just to them, but to you, especially finding out on the fly. So I will talk to you all later. I'll see you all next week. And remember, if you fucking see Jim Starlin in the street, you put some respect in that motherfucker name and you say thank you. Till next time.